So yeah, I guess it should be fine, but I guess to respond to Layman directly, even though he's not here. No, I'm not going through a situation. No, it's not that. It's kind of weird, just I don't know. I'm gonna go into it.
Like
I'm
to
not mad or anything. I'm just very dumbfounded about that fact.
yeah, because like no Noah hit me up, and I know you talked to me about it because like you told me like some time ago, I think it was like more than a month, where like you have difficulty understanding how God is complex, and it's very hard to like put that practically. So like since from then and now, like what's the difference between you doubting or like or like what other like issue that's like hanging over your head that you just can't simply ignore?
Wait, say that again.
The judging from our last conversation where you said it was difficult to understand a complex being in practical sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back then up to now, like what's the difference between then and now, and like what issue is like being present in your mind that's like it's hard to ignore?
Yes, it would be the whole. Part of it was the dad situation, but it was also the slavery, the fact that people, I guess, have a lot of varying interpretations of the Bible. That was another issue that caught me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another one would be is that um, I guess generally like why did God make me if he knew like I would like in any case would go to hell even then like the question would be why did you make me? Like I don't see a like I know there is no I know there's a purpose always again, but why did you have to make me if you knew that I was gonna go to hell like 2 years from now and I died? You don't have control over that. Well, you do have some control, but again, again, just some libertarian free will and the predestination.
Yeah.
So like, if you knew that I could have died, or in fact, I would have actually died, but you chose, it's confusing. I know it's a confusing thought process, but the key question it asks is that why did you make me?
Yeah. Okay.
Why?
So, so I had this question before and after I got saved, and you can like draft off a list, but I'm just gonna keep it like very practical because it could get as deep as you want it to, and and the incentive I think that takes up on like the priority of list if we were to like number them
Mhm.
is that basically he wants to share in the love of like I choose you and now I want you to choose me back. It's a mutual thing. Like every single
He didn't need
relationship.
to though. He
What's
didn't.
up?
He didn't need to though. He didn't need to though. Right? Like I can choose to reject him, and he doesn't need to make me. So I mean, I'm not trying to, of course, steel man or whatever. I'm just trying to ask, like that, like that, like it wouldn't need to happen. It could happen. It did
No,
happen,
that
but it
you're
didn't
you're
need
you're
to.
you're emphasizing like is it contingent on something when it's not even like on the board to begin with. Like for
Oh, okay.
instance, like you don't need a reason to love your parents. You do it.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's this false reality that you're trying to apply to God when here on the earthly realm, you as like a human being to another human being that just happen to be parents, you're loving them regardless if you have a reason to or not. That doesn't stem from like out of obscurity and like it's an abstract thing that came from God. God created you and he didn't need a reason to do so. He just wanted to because he loves you. Like that's the thing. You can separate these concepts that have nothing to do with one another and they're just as
Mm-hmm.
true. So like we don't worship a God because he decided to created us and we're just trying to repay in some weird shape or form. We actually like understand everything that comes with the gospel and then you learn further on as you get discipled, right? And you actually understand the profound love. Like it goes from a superficial understanding because like you just got into, and the more you delve deep in the scriptures, you actually understand like God loves you very, very, very profoundly. It's just a matter of like, are you willing to um see that enough, like put in your time and effort. And so like God, when he spoke to the other persons of the Godhead, he always created things within love. So there's never a time he's creating something that love is absent in any shape or form. And so you and I and everybody else here, despite how evil we were to some degree and still are, God says like I still love you enough to share in that love and give you the opportunity to choose me back and continue always, and we're gonna do this together. It's not just like you alone in this world anymore, aimlessly. I'm trying to find truth. I am truth, and I'm here to tell you that you're free. Right? So, in order for us to reciprocate the same love God has given us, He has to create in that same love in the first place. That's logically, like, if we're going to complement something, it only makes sense that God is willing to love us enough that He even offered His Son. It always reverts back and circulates back into Christ and the gospel. And so, like, despite us feeling doubts, because it does happen and I go through them, like, I can relate to you. It goes from like very simple and innocent to like very deep, because like I'm no exception. You have to remind yourself that God did everything that He needed to for the exact same reason He created you, because He was not obligated. Like, nobody told God, like, you need to become flesh, you need to die for these people. You're the one who created them in the first place, and you wiped them out almost essentially back then, and they started worshiping other beings. Like, nobody demanded Him of anything. And so in that same regard, he willingly chose this because love is not obligated. You can't put restrictions or parameters around it. That just defeats the purpose. Like, if I were to put parameters and obligations and I'm trying to demonstrate my love to you, you would profoundly and innately would register that as that is not love. That's just manipulation. Like, you're making me emulate something that is not intrinsically true or apparent to either of us or to anybody. And so it's very difficult to dissociate love from intrinsic characteristic of God, because He's literally love in the embodiment. The way we express love is because we don't create it. We actually learn from Him, and we're just as better as we can. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I know I kind of went on like a long tangent, but I want to solidify the fact that, like, when it comes in terms of love, like, this isn't something that it's forced upon or obligated or expected to. And I'll give you another example, and I want to know what you think about this. Every time you have a conversation with your dad, you probably are not even realizing him, but you love him enough to be like, hey, I know that God is true. He's specifically this God, and I want to share that with you, because if I don't, then I don't really love you, because I'm not warning you of the condemnation that is to expect, because I recognize it. And if I'm not sharing this, I'm not actually like participating in the same thing what God did for me. So it's like you have to understand, like, these things are true and real, and why, like, God emphatically tells us to spread the gospel, because that's exactly what He did for us, to the point that we basically like killed Him off as a species overall. We're basically no different from the people that saw Him crucified and nailed Him personally on the cross. So it's like you understand, like, the deep and layers that He was willing to do for us, and then it's up to us for us to do it as well, because we're basically sharing in that same essence of love. Like, it's a crucial thing you can't separate from the scriptures.
So, basically, Omni cooks.
Yeah, cooks. Finally, I haven't answered that question now. So, thank you.
By the way, you sound super low. I don't know, you're far from your mic or anything.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to, I guess, get my Switch ready. I was preparing it, but I was listening, so again, it doesn't like detract from anything.
So are you telling me bad cop, good cop works?
Yes.